A drill I do very regularly in dry fire is working on target transitions. I'll set up a bunch of different dry fire targets, different depth, widths, just all over the place, a variable setup. I don't necessarily work on having the same single setup every time. Like I said, they're just random. So for today's dry fire session, it would be like this. Maybe tomorrow I slide them all around a little bit, move them around to something different. I'm not working on having a standard. I'm just working on the skill, if that makes sense. The procedure for doing this is just off a buzzer, a start signal, a random on your timer. Draw the gun and just simulating shooting each target. Again, at varying depths, distances, widths, all that kind of stuff. What you should be paying attention to is your eyes go to the target first, where you want to hit, then your sight follows. You don't want to follow the sight and have your head move and your eyes move at the same time with the sight. Instead, we should see, if you're shooting over here and you want to go this way, we see your eyes go first, then the sight follow. That'd be the proper way to do it. Be very sensitive to the movement and the direction and the altitude of your gun. So if you're transitioning on this target, we see you go past, then you have to come back. That's a problem. It's probably indicative that you're watching your sight. See the sight go down, you make a correction. That's a bad one. Maybe use your shoulders and really try slamming the gun. The gun really shoves over but doesn't go to the right spot, or it bounces a lot at the end before it quiets down. So you're really picking out spots on targets and then just having the gun or the sight go to where you're looking without any extra drama. I think an important one to pay attention to is your shoulders. Just relaxing your shoulders, just holding the gun with your hands, and then looking at spots and just letting the gun float between the targets. Any amount of using your shoulders or muscles trying to speed it up will not be beneficial, I promise you. And in dry fire, this should really be apparent to you when you see how much the sight's moving when you're not firing live ammo and brass isn't going everywhere and the gun's recoiling, you're trying to hang on to it, a lot more happens. So in dry fire, you can be really sensitive to the path the gun takes. While you're doing this drill, I recommend you doing it while you do simulate pressing the trigger to fire shots and without. When you do it without, don't pause on the target long enough and think in your brain like boom, 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 anything like that. Instead, what it should look like is you just moving the gun from target to target. And when you get done, again, assessing. A wrong way to do it would be swinging it past and needing to come back to the target. Maybe I see the gun make a correction at the end because it goes somewhere it's not quite the right spot and I have to move it again. So I just want to pause on the target just long enough to confirm the sight, and then I move on. So I'm not simulating shooting. I'm just working on the aspect of looking at a spot and then bringing the sight to where I'm looking. This is another one. If you nitpick yourself, you're perpetually dissatisfied, this will be a real winner because you'll become very, very good at it. This also works on building your index, which I discussed previously, which is just the ability to look at a spot and have the sight show up there almost automatically. Just like if I wanted to point at something or I want to use my mouse cursor, I just look and my finger just goes up wherever I want to point, or the cursor just shows up on the buy primers, now they're in stock, button, whatever the case may be. It doesn't require a lot of thinking. It's just, I look and it just goes there. So that's the skill you're looking to build while doing this drill. Again, don't worry about mastering any one specific setup for targets. I would recommend changing it every single day in your dry fire. Different depths, distances, widths, all those kind of things. A bunch of targets close together, targets spaced out. Again, just replicating things that you see in matches, stuff you've had issues with or you want to improve at. So anyway, hopefully that one's helpful.